How are you? And welcome back to Green Hill Gaming, where I share my passion of video games with the whole wide world. In this live stream, I am back with another MultiVersus live stream, the third MultiVersus live stream of the day. So sit back, relax, but as always, and more importantly, enjoy the live stream. Still trying to get the party animal trophy. Coulson, how are you? Welcome back to another, the third MultiVersus live stream of today. How are you keeping, Coulson? If you enjoyed the live stream. So yeah, still haven't gotten the party animal trophy. Still haven't played 500 matches in a party. Yep. The third live stream of today. I've gone stream crazy. Stream crazy, Chad. Stream crazy. Chad, you're very welcome back to Green Hill Gaming for a third live stream of MultiVersus. How are you keeping, Chad? Very welcome to the live stream, as always. Hope you enjoy. Still going after that trophy. I'm like an animal going after the party animal trophy. Yeah, it's a grind. I swear to Christ, it is an absolute grind. Glad you're doing well, Coulson. Patiently waiting for the 28. What's happening on the 28? Oh, the DLC for Village. I forgot. I'll be honest with you, I'm actually not that hyped for it at all. I was actually saying to the chat, I don't know if you were in the live stream earlier, the second MultiVersus live stream. I was actually talking about Village and its DLC. I just think it's completely out there. The whole Mega Myset giant fetus in this underground cave in Romania that stores the consciousness of the people in it and the people who die, and they're all connected, and you can it's just, what is this? Like some Stranger Things bullshit. Like, this is not the Resident Evil I grew up with. Look, I enjoyed Village for what it was. I really did. I actually consider it to be the best game I played in the series for its story, twists and turns. I loved figuring out what Chris Redfield was up to. Look, I enjoyed the game overall. I just think it's the most out there Resident Evil game that's ever been made. It's too out there for me. I know the Shadow of Rose DLC, where she's literally inside the consciousness of the Mega Myset, and she's like magic powers and everything. What the fuck is this shit? Like, honestly, it's just, anyway. So I can't say I'm too hyped for it. Third person mode. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? A little too late now, isn't it, Capcom? But there is games that give you a choice to play in third person or first person. That's the thing, Capcom. That's been around for quite a while, actually. And GTA 5 did it when it came to PS4. That actually exists, Capcom. Like, how am I supposed to get excited for that? Oh, third person mode. Ooh. God, like, is that how bad gaming has come today? Like, where people are supposed to get excited for a third person mode. Come on, like, a bit late now for that. Like, so what else did they have? I actually think the Resident Evil 7 DLC was the best. That had a lot of diversity. Every piece of DLC, and there was a lot of DLC actually. There was a lot of DLC. There was the Daughters DLC, which was basically the prequel. End of Zoe, where you had Jack Baker going around punching the shit out of the fucking enemies. Crazy, really fun to play. That was. What was there? Then you the bedroom DLC, where it was like an escape room. You had like a fucked up version of 21. It was a really fantastic DLC, like in 7. Village DLC is a letdown, and I hadn't even played it yet, but I still think it's a letdown. To be honest with you. But Coulson, if you're looking forward to it, man, that's all that matters. Hope you enjoy the Village DLC and Reverse as well. Reverse, and I finally get to play Village for the first time. Well, if it's your first time playing, you're going to love third person. Trust me. See through change, Johnny. I know he's a trophy hunter. I know, yeah. It's actually true. It's actually true, to be honest. Yeah, I'm a trophy hunter now. Does Chris turn into a werewolf in the DLC? Wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't even be surprised. And let's face facts as well. Like, let's face the obvious, right? You know that, like, person guiding Rose in the DLC. Do you know the way in the trailers you see this writing appearing in front of Rose? It's obviously Ethan, because as I pointed out, the Mega Myset, the giant fetus on the ground in the village, it stores the consciousness of the people in the village who've passed away. Like, their memories and consciousness and everything else is inside the fetus. That's how and why Mother Miranda was hoping to bring back her daughter. Evie. That's the whole point of it, because her consciousness was in the Mega Myset, so she wanted to transfer that consciousness into a vessel, which was basically Rose Winters. So obviously Ethan is inside the Mega Myset, the consciousness, and he's the one guiding. It's just so predictable. It's so predictable, man. It's I'm telling you. Oh, so predictable. It's a bit late now for spoilers. Spoiler alert, Wesker comes back in the DLC. And he's black. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be one bit surprised. Which one of Umbrella's founders knew Mother Miranda? It was, yeah, Spencer. You are correct, Amando. And how are you, Dad? As always, you are very welcome to Green Hill Gaming. Back with a third live stream today. Playing MultiVersus. Hope you're doing well. Hope you enjoy. I'm going to try to invite this guy up here. I invited him earlier, but I got no response back. Because I'm still desperately trying to get that trophy, the party animal trophy, where you have to play 500 matches in a party. Okay, he's not accepting it. Coulson, you have MultiVersus, don't you? Fancy a game?
Come on, pick character.
Who was the final boss in Zero? The final boss was a mutated version of Dr. James Marcus as a full-on like leech. It was like the Leech Queen. Because if you think of it, there actually wasn't James Marcus. It was the leeches mimicking James Marcus. So there actually is no James Marcus in Resident Evil 0. It's the leeches that are completely mimicking him. All good, thanks. No problem. Glad you're keeping well. Yeah, we played it a few streams back. Do you want to play again? If you can. Marcus, got it. I mixed up the founders a lot. Well, there's 3 founders, so it can get quite confusing. There's Oswald E. Spencer, James Marcus, and Dr. Ashford. 3 original founders of the Umbrella Corporation. So, Coulson, do you want a game after this match? Let me know as quickly as possible if you can, because I can just attempt to form a party after this. Can't play tonight, no problem. But sending you my luck to get those. Thank you, much appreciated, Coulson, thank you. Back to Resident Evil now for a second. Everything I said in my Resident Evil video going back there a couple of months ago, I think it was months ago anyway, when I said I was done. I think I said I was done with modern Resident Evil. I keep saying it, but like 99% of what I said in that video, I stand by it. I stand by it, like. I'm not going to go, oh, well, you know, I changed my mind completely. I love modern Resident Evil now. No, I stand by everything I said, right? The only thing I don't stand by is me being done with it. I'm still going to play modern Resident Evil. I'm still going to interact with modern Resident Evil. That includes the remakes and the latest entries in the series. But I still stand by how I feel about it. I'm not going to repeat myself. It's all in the video. I stand by everything I said. It doesn't change nothing. The fact that I'm going to play those games doesn't change anything. Honestly, like a giant fucking fetus in an underground cave. That literally, and not just, it literally is a fetus. If you actually look at it, it literally is a giant fetus. And it was actually there over 100 years ago. So it can't be explained through like some umbrella corporation research, you know, or something like that. It was there 100 years ago. It's a fucking giant fungal fetus that stores the consciousness of its dead locals, which is like Mother Miranda stumbled across this, and she obviously must have, maybe when she touched it, well, it gives you powers as well. It gives you mystical powers. You know, that's why Mother Miranda has the powers she has. And that's just mental. That's absolutely mental. Like when I played 7 and I heard about the mold, the black mold, right? And how Evelyn was created, it kind of made sense because they obviously took that mold, right, and mixed it together and made Evelyn, right, with a human embryo. That made sense to an extent. That made sense, right? Bit like how the T virus was created. The T virus was created in a similar fashion as well. But this like 100 years ago, a giant fetus that can store consciousness. Like what? What is that like? What the fuck is that like? That's just too out there for me, as I said. As I keep on repeating myself, but yeah, it is what it is. But I'm not going to take away anyone's excitement. If someone's excited for that, I'm not going to take that excitement away from them. But I can't say that I'm too hyped. If I'm going to get it, I'm probably going to stream it too, I'd say, more than likely. I'm sure I'll find something in it that'll actually, something in it that I will enjoy, I'm sure. Yeah. So, like, as I said, like, even though I feel very strongly about modern Resident Evil, I'm still going to interact with it, like, yeah.
Start time.
What a grind of a trophy. 500 matches in a party. Jesus Christ. I think they should have changed the trophy to teams. Play 500 matches in teams. Because it's kind of the same thing when you stop and think about it. In fact, it's exactly the same thing when you think about it. You will be as old as me by the time do you know what? I probably will. I'm beginning to think it will take that long. I want to go back to Resident Evil. I want to go back talking about Resident Evil. I want to talk about the remake of 4. So the fact that the fact that Leon can now parry Chainsaw Guy, whether you can do it 1 time or whether you can do it 10 times, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. The fact is you can parry a fucking chainsaw with a knife. I don't give a shit how many times you can do it. Doesn't change the fact you can. That just goes to prove what I said in that video. I'm glad I didn't delete that video. I'm glad I didn't take back everything I said about that video. Again, there's only one thing I take back, and that's me being done with the series. But everything I said about the series, I stand by it. And the fact that you can parry Chainsaw Guy with a fucking knife goes to prove I was right. They're pandering to an audience, a Zoomer audience, a younger audience, who just don't appreciate classic Resident Evil. Oh, one hit kill. Oh no, that's too hard. I can't handle that. Chainsaw Guy killed me in one go. No, we can't be having that. So, of course, Capcom have to add in this parry. That's okay, Zoomers. It's okay. You know, it's okay. You get your ass completely kicked in the GameCube PS2 generation of games. We understand that. We're going to make the game easier for you. We're going to give you casual mode. We're going to allow you to parry a fucking chainsaw with a knife. So this goes to prove I was right.
Come on, pick character.
And I can prove them right. Because I can sit here and I can rant and I can say stuff over and over again, but it's that much better when my points actually get proven right. I'm going to create a Steam account and get Return to Castle Wolfenstein for $2. Oh god, nice one, Chad. Nice one. Here, the people at Steam come knocking at your door and they pay you $1 million to promote Steam Deck or something. What the fuck is going on with Steam Deck? And you all of a sudden, I'm only joking. I should have actually cancelled that rematch, to be honest.
Start time.
So I would hopefully form a party. The future of Resident Evil is going to be a strange future. Why are they changing it like that? I think you mean changing. I presume you're talking about Resident Evil 4 Remake. So I'm going to presume that and I'm going to respond to that. Because Capcom, which are the developers of Resident Evil, they're pandering to a much younger audience, an audience who don't appreciate classic Resident Evil, who don't want to play classic Resident Evil, who just don't want to interact with classic Resident Evil, and more importantly, can't play classic Resident Evil. So that's why the remake of 4 is going to be a lot more easier. That you can parry one-hit kills now from Chainsaw Guy. And that won't be the only thing they'll change. They'll add in other stuff as well to make it easier. Oh, but they'll add in Inferno mode and... Look, it's one thing. See, this is what they do, right? This is what they do to kind of like, to try to kind of like shut people like me up, right? This is what they do, right? They go from being extremely casual, like blocking Chainsaw Guy with a survivor, and saying, "Oh look, we're gonna do a thing where if you move 2 steps, you're gonna die." Like they just make it completely, insanely difficult to the point where the game can't even be played. That's what they do. But I'm telling you, like, it's true, like, and look, it is what it is, like, you know, that's what they kind of tend to do a lot, like, they just pander to this, like, new audience, like. But I'll buy it, I will play it, and I'll probably enjoy it overall. But it doesn't change how I feel about the remake. It doesn't change the points I've made about it, and the points that have been proven right, more importantly. Because that's the important part. That's the important part.
Red point.
And I absolutely, and I said it before, and I'll say it again, I just find it absolutely hilarious, right? How you hear about, like, ultra realistic graphics. Look at this remake. The characters and enemies, they look so realistic compared to the original. This is so realistic. Oh, hold on a second, there's a chainsaw coming towards me. I better get a knife out. It's absolutely hilarious. Like, I don't even find that frustrating, I just find it hilarious, to be honest with you. But look, it is what it is. It is what... Again, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get the remake of 4. I'm going to get the Village DLC. But I'm not going to be puckering up and kissing Capcom's ass in the process, am I? No. I'm going to give my honest and brutal opinions on both the DLC for Village and the remake of 4. I don't know a second anyway. I'm going to send this fucker another party invite. Be right back, no problem. Seems they don't care about hardcore gamers. My dad acting like a true gamer. They do. They do their best, to be fair. They do their best. But it is what it is. They still pander to the younger audience, but they do their best. It still is Resident Evil 4. You know, they are trying to kind of stay true to the original as much as possible, but they know there's a large audience out there who just don't appreciate classic gaming, who can't appreciate classic gaming. They can't play it. You know, the idea of a chainsaw guy just coming up to you and taking your head out, and just that being the end of the game. Well, not being the end of the game, like, but you know, game over. And because Resident Evil 4 had actually checkpoints, unlike the original 3. You know, there's actually people out there that will tell you that Resident Evil became action from 3 and Code Veronica onwards. Bullshit. 4 was where the action started. You're less than 5 minutes into the game in 4 and Leon jumps out a fucking window. Yeah, it's just so realistic, isn't it? When in doubt, jump out a fucking window. it's just hilarious. Like, there's the areas in that where they're going to try to make it realistic. Oh, we have to say stuff like Baby Eagle. We have to talk like we're real American agents to make it look so realistic. We have to make this realistic, you know. This is realism. Yeah, so we're just going to jump out a window. Because that's so practical, isn't it? Like shards of glass shattering instantly when you're only wearing a standard fucking jacket, you know, and your face is completely unprotected. You're just going to jump through a fucking window and the shards of glass are not going to cut your face. Yeah, because that's so realistic, Capcom, isn't it? And people talk about Ethan and the fact that he doesn't get injured that much in the game, or he gets injured and he just miraculously recovers. People talk about the magic juice. Well, fuck me. Leon Kennedy must be fucking bathing in that magic juice if he's able to fucking parry a chainsaw with a knife and jump out windows without a scratch on his fucking face. Oh, I'm telling you, it's more funnier than frustrating. I know it sounds like I'm getting frustrated, but it's actually more funnier. It's more funny than anything else, to be honest. It really is. If you ask me, right, this is how you remake a game that, like, released over 20 years ago, over 15, 20 years ago, right, whatever, like GameCube, PS2 and below, right. What you do is you take every single mechanic, every single part of the game, you take it all and you just recreate it spec wise, right? You recreate it on better hardware, so the game looks far better and plays far better from the point of view of frames, right? Frames per second, the frame rate and all that kind of stuff, right? But you don't need to start adding in stuff like parrying a chainsaw guy to make the game easier. You don't need to do anything. Just keep everything. Just literally just remake the game, but with better specs. That's how you remake a game. That's the perfect remake. If you want to add in new locations and stuff, even better, right? Which is a bit about the original Resident Evil remake. But this whole thing about adding in, like, you know, casual modes or this time we felt that parrying a chainsaw guy would make more sense. Or you know, little stuff like that, like, you know. Well, this time around, we noticed that players didn't like dying instantly. You know, just don't go near that stuff. You know, that's how you make. That is how you make a good remake. How's the game been? MultiVersus. Do you mean MultiVersus? I play the hardest game of the world. It's called Staying Sober. Well, you're winning it. You're winning it better than I have won any game in my life. You've gotten the platinum. You've gotten the platinum in that, honestly. Because what I'm playing right now is a fictional video game. It's not real. But you are playing a real game. You know? And you are doing very, very well. You won. You are very welcome. You are very, very welcome. You won that, you got the platinum, that's for sure. Yeah, MultiVersus, I'm loving it. Just want to get the platinum. You know, I'm actually looking forward to season 2, which will be releasing in the 14th of November. I think it's the 14th anyway. And also, I actually got the X Halloween variant as well. Yeah. And yet here I am still playing as Rain Dog. I don't know. I don't even know why, to be honest. Rain Dog has terrible up attacks. A Rain Dog. I'll go from calling him Rain Dog to Rain Dog, to be honest. You know, sometimes in entertainment there's certain eras. Like during wrestling, in sport entertainment, there is quite a few eras in World Wrestling Federation / entertainment, right? And if you look at each of the eras, right, they're so different to each other. They're like completely different products. They're completely different things altogether, right? But it's still the company, it's still the promotion. That's kind of how I feel about Resident Evil. Like for me, oh God, like for me, one era of Resident Evil died with Code Veronica. That was the classic era, the original era, the old school era, the survival horror era, in my personal opinion. No, I mean Code Veronica in terms of the timeline, the series. I know there was a remake of Resident Evil, and then there was the prequel, right? But I'm not counting them. I'm just counting Code Veronica. That was the last classic Resident Evil game that we actually got. Then you had this insane like action era, right? Where like Resident Evil became this like fucking Hollywood action movie thing. Like they tried to make it like mainstream. Like, oh look, we're action now. Look, we're making it so, you know, shiny and explosions, and we're gonna punch boulders and jump up windows and melee kill, you know, these enemies. Look, we're action. They literally said in the back of the Resident Evil 4 box, and I read this out in a live stream. It literally said, "Forget everything you know about Resident Evil. Forget everything you know about survival horror." So there was the action era with 4, 5, and 6, right? So that was the action era. And now we're in a third era. Actually, no, actually, scratch that. Before we even talk about mainline like Resident Evil games like 7, Village, and the DLC, let's talk about the remake era. So then we had the remake era. which is, how can I describe this? It's like, hi kids, you know all those old Resident Evil games you see on YouTube that you laugh at and say, how did anyone play those games? But they look interesting. I'd like to play them, but I just can't put up with these shit PS1 graphics. Here's a remake. I mean, we know that you wouldn't be able to handle the difficulty of those games. We know you'd get absolutely slaughtered 20 minutes into these games and wouldn't be able to put up with the save system and the inventory. Well, here's a remake. So 2 got remade and 3 got remade. And now 4 has been remade. For younger audiences who didn't play the games, classic games originally, who don't want to play the classic games because they can't appreciate the classic games. They can't appreciate the graphics, they can't appreciate the gameplay, they can't appreciate the difficulty. So there's a remake era, which is going to be all that's happening, evidently. And then we have like 7 Village and its DLC, which is basically, it's basically the new age era, the new age of Resident Evil. So it's like, you know, first person, kind of Outlast type story. Like there's even like kind of paranormal kind of elements to it. And you've, I mean, a giant fetus that can store the consciousness of its locals. You know, and they're so different. Each of these eras, they're so different. But it's still Resident Evil. It is technically Resident Evil. Just each era is so different. And everyone has their preferred era, right? My preferred era is the era that I grew up with. The games I grew up with, the classic Resident Evil games. And to me, as I pointed out, that died with Code Veronica. And that's how I feel about Resident Evil. I feel like it's been dead since Code Veronica. Which is ironically the game that me and a lot of veteran Resident Evil fans actually want to get remade. Because we know that 4 is a good game. We all know 4 is a good game. We don't need to be told that 4 is a good game. We were alive and kicking. We had hairs on our fucking body when 4 released, right? We know that 4 is a great game. We don't need to be told that. You weren't even born when 4 came out, okay? But we also got to see 4 release on PS2, on PC, on Wii, on PS3, and Xbox, the HD port. Came to the Wii U Virtual Console, came to mobile, it's on Switch now. And with the HD ports, the games looked better and ran better. Games have been released so many times. Who hasn't played Resident Evil 4, for fuck's sake? The game does not need a remake. It wasn't wanted. The original still holds up to this day. But Code Veronica does not hold up as well as 4 does. In the area of visuals and gameplay, it does not hold up. But because these younger gamers, like, they don't appreciate classic Resident Evil. They're like, oh, Code Veronica. Oh, yeah, that's that game I saw on YouTube. Yeah. That's like Green Hill Gaming was playing Code Veronica. Yeah. But they're not interested in it. And I'm just keeping it real. I'm keeping it real. It is what it is. Green Hill Gaming, always keeping it real. That should be my slogan. But look, I'm always going to be a fan of Resident Evil. I just have my preferred era. Everyone's going to have their preferred era. If you're a person who grew up playing 4, well then your era is going to be the action. And you're still possibly going to interact with the classic Resident Evil games, but you're probably going to prefer the action. Just like I grew up with the classic, and I can tolerate and still interact with, you know, all these other new eras of Resident Evil. It is what it is, like. So yeah, I'm still going to be a fan of Resident Evil. I'm still going to interact with it, but I'm going to be very vocal about, you know, how I feel about the series. But I have to say, I'm glad. I'm so glad. I'm so happy that the Winter's story is going to be ending with the Village DLC. I couldn't be more happier, to be honest. Because they're obviously going to go back like 16 years. Like they're not going to move 16. The only reason they're going 16 years ahead is because they want to tell the Roa story and kind of end that story, you know. But like Chris has moved on from the whole kind of like mold infection story. Like they're obviously Chris's story now is to investigate the BSSA and see what they're up to. So that's going to be its own story. That's going to be its own story. So that's what more than likely 9 is going to be about.
Red point, red point. Blue point, blue point. Coming for you now. Oh, you lose.
Imagine if you had to farm to win. You had to farm to kill and knock everyone out. I'm sure there's games like that out there. Think there'll be a 5. You know what? I do. I don't know about 7, but I can definitely see 5 and 6 being remade. Maybe not 6 though, but 5 being remade. And I can see that happening. 100%. I mean, we're in a time where The Last of Us gets a remake. You know, we're in a time where it's heavily rumored that there's going to be a remake of Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a PS4 game. So if a PS4 game can get remade, I can definitely see Resident Evil 5 being remade 100%. Can't say I'd be happy with that, to be honest with you. But it's become so acceptable. I know people can accept that now. They can accept that. And their justification is, oh, but just look at how amazing the game would run on PS5 and Xbox Series X. It's not about how the game fucking runs. The game is still there. Like this, there was people to this day playing games like Super Mario Brothers that released 35 years ago on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Donkey Kong, The Legend of Zelda, all these classic games. People are still playing those games. They're just fine as they are. They don't need to be remade. The game is what it is. People like those games for what they are. They were made that way. They were made that way for the hardware that was released at that time. Leave the thing as it is. You know what's interesting? Now, I don't know much about art. Right? I don't know much about art. Right? I know nothing about art. I know nothing about the art world. But the Mona Lisa that Leonardo da Vinci painted, he did paint it, didn't he? Fucking hell, if he didn't paint it, it would be embarrassing. But nonetheless, the Mona Lisa painting, did Banksy come along and say, you know what, I think we should remake the Mona Lisa? Yeah. Because the Mona Lisa is old and that's outdated. Nobody wants to look at that Mona Lisa. Let's make a new Mona Lisa. Does that happen? No, it doesn't. Now that's an interesting one to think about, isn't it? Leave it alone. Resident Evil 5 is Resident Evil 5. It was made in 2009 for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. It's an art piece. Leave it alone. Let people decide whether they want to appreciate it or not. That's up to them to decide. Leave it alone. If you're a business and you want to make money, obviously that's what you want to do as a business, then make new games. Here's an idea, Capcom. Make Resident Evil 9. Here's another idea. Make Revelations 3. I've got another idea for you. Let's make a new Outbreak game. Let's make new games, Capcom. That's an idea. So if you want to make money as a company, make new games. You don't have to remake your old games. And so what if a younger generation doesn't want to appreciate the classic games? Fuck them. That's why they have Fortnite and God knows what else. Yeah, make new games targeted at them. Just let these games alone. There's nothing wrong with them. They're perfectly fine games. And this, I gave an example earlier in my earlier live stream. I think it's the perfect example to give, because if we're all like, you know, if the younger generation of gamers, right? I'm going to say, and I'm going to include me in this now. If the younger audience, right, are feeling, yeah, I definitely feel like that game needs a remake. All right, and think about this, right? Think about this. Ragnarok is coming out very shortly. Can't wait, by the way. Okay, think about this. That game looks amazing, doesn't it? Amazing. 4K. Blu-ray. Oh my god, it's going to look amazing. It's going to be the best game ever. It's going to win Game of the Year. What a game this is going to be. People thought the exact same thing about, like, you know, 4 when it came out. And, you know, people can't wrap their head around that, but believe me, 4 was a huge game when it came out. People thought the exact same thing. Oh my god, look at the visuals compared to Resident Evil on PS1. Oh my god, because it was literally like one generation gap between 1 and 4. Literally, there was. There was the PS1, and then there was the GameCube. So, yeah. Like, people thought, oh my god, this is going to be huge. This is amazing. This is a brilliant game. People had the same thing with The Last of Us, like the one on PS3. The thing is, right? Think of this, right? Like 15, 20 years' time. You know, your kids, your grandkids, whoever, will turn around and say, oh, Ragnarok. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's alright, yeah. But it needs to be remade in 100K or what the fuck is going to be around in those years. Do you get me? Try to put yourself, you know, try to understand how, like, our generation feels, you know, when all these games get remade. Because I have no problem playing the original Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, or 4. I have no problem. I don't need these games to be remade. Because they're perfectly fine. Just like how all of us is going to feel about Ragnarok. We don't, you know, that game looks amazing now. But there's going to be a generation who are going to turn around and say, oh, well, this game looks outdated. Just leave the game alone. Not every game has to be remade. It's as simple as that. So, long answer to your question, Colson. I can definitely see it happening. Definitely. You said with him they painted it. If something is not broken, don't. Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Do you know what's amazing? Oh God. Oh my God, man. This generation of fucking gaming never ceases to amuse me now, to be honest with you. You've got games like Cyberpunk 2077 that's still to this day a broken pile of shite. But what are they doing? Remaking The Witcher 1. Here's an idea, companies. Instead of remaking games that are perfectly fine, perfectly working games, I would make sure that the new games you're making, the games that are out now, are in working order. That's an idea, Fee. Why don't you fucking run along with that idea? Huh? That would be a great idea, I think. There's too many remakes. And I've been told this by many people over the years, and I didn't really kind of take too much notice of it, but it's happening around me now. It doesn't seem to be a day that goes by without some game gets announced as a remake. And again, as I said earlier, like, I don't mind remakes. I don't have a problem with them. You see, again, like, there's always, like, everything I say gets lost in translation. I'm used to it, though. But it's not that I have an issue with remakes. I played them. I think it's great to see.
Red point.
I think it's great to see a remake happening, but I just don't think that every game has to default get a remake. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, it's been 20 years since this game got released. Remake. Or in Sony's case, it's been 10 minutes since this game got released. Let's remake it. But no, like, I just don't think that should be the mentality of the gaming industry. Like,
Continue.
so yeah, that's all I'm saying. Party formed.
Come on, pick character.
So lads, you know me, like when I got a point, I'm like a dog with a bone. I'm like a rain dog with a bone. Literally. Just beating that point. You know? Just beating that point home. Just getting that point out there over and over again. That's just me all out. Man, as always, I just know that my opinions will just get lost in translation. 100%. I'm used to that though. We all like to put salt on our food, don't we? Well, most of us do anyway. Adds a bit of flavour. It's nice. Putting salt on our food is nice, isn't it? Okay. But you're not gonna like get the whole bottle of salt and just pour it all over your food, like a mountain of salt. You're not gonna do that, are you? So I enjoy a remake from time to time. It's nice to look back and say, oh my god, they're actually remaking Super Mario 64. You know, a game that released originally on the N64. Wouldn't it be great to see that being remade? From now and again, from time to time. I enjoy that. But do I want to see a remake get announced every single day? Here's a remake for this, here's a remake for that, here's a remake for this, here's a remake for that, here's a remake for this. Okay? Maybe that's a better way of putting it. Another way of putting it as well, try to explain like the fact that I actually another example, the point that I want to highlight is I just feel like when there's so many remakes and it becomes expected, it's kind of sending this message of that the original game wasn't good and that it needs a remake. See, that's the thing, isn't it? And that's what I've always been saying. It doesn't need a remake. It's nice to get a remake, but it doesn't need a remake. There's nothing wrong with these games. Do you want to know why Silent Hill 2 is getting remade? It's not because Silent Hill 2 was a trash game. It's not because Silent Hill 2 was like this broken mess like Cyberpunk 2077. No. The reason Silent Hill 2 is getting remade is because it is a beloved franchise that people want to experience all over again on modern hardware. That is why it's being remade. So it's important that we don't, a bit like how my points get mistranslated, lost in translation. It's important that that it doesn't get lost in translation. Like, just because a remake is released doesn't mean that the original version is crap. Which is why I'm trying to say there's nothing wrong with the original game. Which is why remakes doesn't need to happen. It's nice to have them, just like it's nice to put a bit of salt on your food to add a bit of flavour. It just doesn't need to be OTT. We don't need to go full remake OTT like. And I swear to God, like, now that we have The Last of Us Part 1, and apparently now Horizon Zero Dawn is coming out, like, I just fear that, like, a remake of Resident Evil 5 is just around the corner. Like, what if we get a remake of like a game like Detroit Become Human or something? Like a remake of Splatoon. You know? Like, what if that happens? Like, bedtime for me soon, no problem. Depends on what kind it is. It's the same with some TV programs. Same with anything else, really. You know, same with any form of kind of entertainment. Like, just leave it alone. Do you know what I mean? Oh, you fixed your laptop. Nice one. What did you do? How did you manage to fix it?
Come on, pick character.
I think a lot of people after watching Halloween Ends would agree that not everything has to get remade. No, fair enough, that wasn't a remake, to be fair. So it's kind of a different, I suppose, really different thing, really, I suppose. Different thing altogether, really, yeah. But unless the Halloween Ends was terrible. That was meant to be about the continuation of, not continuation, it was meant to be the ending, hence Halloween Ends, of Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. And Michael Myers was barely in it. And there was hardly any real interaction between Laurie and Michael, except for the end. So, anyway. That's a different conversation for a different day. I found a hack on YouTube to fix it. Ha, nice. Oh, God. Godly iPods. Some of these names are hilarious, to be honest. And then you just have this random ass name, don't you?
This fight will be immortalized in story and song. Or at least, can I say?
Time for bed? You also, I think. Soon. Alright, Dad, good night, sleep well. Thanks for watching the live stream, as always. Hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one. Good night. I was enjoying. Thanks. I'm off to bed. Okie dokie. Good night. Sleep well. Your glasses are gone, Vilma.
Blue point! Blue point!
Boom.
Winner!
My dream of a better world doesn't end here.
Come on, pick character.
God, I can't believe how much of a grind that trophy is, like. I'd love to. I'd love to make a game, a complete parody of a remake, like this remake like Fortnite, but like make every character white and like everyone is straight and they don't recycle and they're all like lighting coal fires and they're against abortion and they're going to mass every Sunday. Just do this to like the most beloved game. Just do it in Fortnite. Just incorporate every single thing I just said there into this remake of Fortnite, but I'll call it Fartnite instead. Just to piss people off. Just for my own personal entertainment, my own personal amusement. Oh, do you know what's hilarious though? This no really made me laugh. Like a proper made me laugh. I actually forgot to mention this. I seen comments online about Ada in Resident Evil 4 remake. Why did they make her Asian? Why did they make her Asian? They said she's fucking Ada Wong. It's in her fucking name. She's always been Asian. She's always been Asian. She's always even looked Asian. She's never looked American. She's never been American. She's always been Asian. Those are just idiots. Like these kind of people are idiots. You know. Oh, I swear to God, like, why did they make her Asian? Jesus Christ Almighty. I'd say something though, like if it was a case of like, if it was Claire Redfield, and all of a sudden she's Asian, you know. But Ada Wong is always it's her name, like Ada Wong. Oh God, that made me laugh. Still fucking does, to be honest. Why didn't it make Ada Wong Asian? And it wasn't. They wasn't be sarcastic, by the way. They were actually deadly serious, which makes it even more funnier, to be honest.
Come on, pick character.
Hey Capcom, why did you make Ada Asian? Oh Jesus, no.
Start time.
Fingers crossed you actually present a challenge.
You all good? Got it.
So I think it's actually the story of 4 being remade that I'm actually looking forward to. When it comes to Wesker and Ada,
Wonder Woman is not such easy prey.
because there wasn't really a whole lot of information given in the original version as to like what Wesker was up to. Like there was talk of him like making a new Umbrella Corporation. Where he was going to be the head of it, like.
Speak truth. But what do we say to the Moon's God?
Like junk.
Speak truth.
Blue point! Blue point! Red point! Red point!
Time for grace is over. Now is for revenge.
God.
No one can resist the lasso of truth.
Go ball.
Aki finally got enough.
Winner!
Ring out.
Winner! Winner!
Hope you're not too close.
Rematch?
Oh damn it! What the fuck? Well, that was quick. Did it? Oh, for fuck's sake!
Come on, pick
Dude, I'm
character.
not gonna. There has to be stats somewhere that just kind of gives you an overall. Okay, so let's have a look. Career stats. Right, never mind that. So it's divided into teams and 1v1. But then it becomes. So there's lifetime matches. So then a total of 1,747 matches. But like, it would be nice if you could kind of divide those matches into matches that were in parties. These are just victory and losses. Like, there's nothing else there. It's not a very detailed statistic, is it? And you can check online as well, but I still don't think there's actually anything else. This is the arcade mode here, I think. It's coming soon next week. On the shop as well, by the looks of it. Glossary then is just. Oh, for fuck's sake. So annoying. There's no tracker in the trophy, like. Play 500 matches in a party. Oh, I'm gonna send this fucker an invite again. Jupiter. Jupiter must be on planet Jupiter right now. For fuck's sake.
Come on, pick character. Start time.
There should be like an option where you can just automatically form a party, because it's just, I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid, the fact that, like, I mean, a team might know someone, right? So isn't this technically a party? Don't cut me out and he gets knocked out. Oh no, that was... I'm so tired. LeBron James is with me, okay. Former party. Oh, fuck, I'm going to sleep. Right. I'm not fucking even out. Too
Come
tired.
on, pick character.
But I'll try this fucker one more time. Jupiter Rhino 106. Sounds like a radio station. Welcome to Jupiter Rhino 106. Bringing you the best music. I always want to unlock this fucker. Seeing as I have a Halloween variant for him. So you know what, actually I'll take him to the lab for a little bit actually. Where's the lab? I am... Fuck, do I change it? Okay. Right, so actually looks cool. Yeah, the splits. Huh. That's actually cool. What the fuck? Right. Well, at least, anyway, today I fucking unlocked the Halloween variant for Jake, and I can actually play as a new character for a change. So that's everything here. I'm not interested in. I still can't believe that fucking Optic spent over $200 on MultiVersus so far. But you know, to get all these, I'm not going to go into them again. I explained it earlier today, but you know, to get these five, five variants, it'll cost you under €100. I'm not even joking. You can do it yourself if you want to. You can add it up yourself. I spent €15 on MultiVersus so far, and I have like 8. I'll tell you. It's easier. Alright, so I have Uncle Shagworthy. That's 1. I have this variant. No, where's it gone? The tune thing, the tune variant. So that's 2. I have her variant. This is 3. This one here. Oh, where the fuck is it? This one here. I'm just going to count them. So it's 1. I know that I have 1 for Uncle Shagworthy. So it's 1, 2, 3. I have the Mummy Rain Dog. That's 4. I have Jake's Halloween. This is 5. I have Finn Pajama, which is 6. I have a Tom and Jerry, which is 7. I have one for her, which is 8. And I have Bugs Bunny. I have 9 variants. I have 9 variants so far. 9. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. I have 9 variants. But that's on top of various profile icons, stickers, badges, banners, bingo special effects that I got in the Battle Pass. And I've only spent €15. Imagine spending under €100 for 5 variants. And just variants, nothing else. But spending €15 and getting 9 variants and a lot of other stuff. People are idiots. I'm telling you. Idiots. I managed to get these 2 variants simply by just playing the game and getting candy. I'm telling you, it's about understanding these type of live service games. Some live service games are just really greedy and they just purely just spend money. But then there's other games that just say, hey look, just play the game and we'll give it something. But I'm going to be getting the battle passes going forward. And again, I've only spent €15 so far. I'm very happy with that. And I'm also very tired. So I'm going to get some sleep now. Thank you so much for watching the live stream and putting up my frustrating views on Resident Evil and remakes and modern gaming. It is what it is. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I'm like an old lion. Threatened by the young cubs. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.